Well, good morning, everyone. Afternoon, evening, whatever. It is Sunday. Yay. And I only have a couple of things to share. Well, like 4 patterns, but 2 of them I did 2 of each. So, and I came to the table totally unprepared today. Like, I am not going to be able to, except for one, say who made it, so I'll add it to the description down below. I'm just not prepared. I'm a little off. So, last time I showed you guys the little possum, snuggler, lovey, whatever you want to call it, and Nancy told me about one that she just did that was like so cute. There's 2 different sizes of it. One you can get where it comes out to 8 inches, and one you can get to where it comes out to 12 inches. And they're really cute. Now, I will admit I had a hard time with this one. Mainly, well, 2 things. Trying to get the beak to go on properly because you surface crochet. And then the eyes. I really struggled with the eyes. I wanted to do the embroidered eyes because these are for the little kids. And one of them, I redid the eyes like 3 times. And it's like, I'm done. I'm not trying to do it again. The other one I did twice, I think. And it's just going to have to work. But going forward with this pattern, when I do the beak, I'm going to make it separate and then sew it on instead of trying to do surface crochet because I really struggled with the beak. Other than that, it was a great pattern. It was easy to make and they are really, really cute. So this was the first one. And these little headbands, they're awesome. Now with this one, I had to do more rows to be able to get it long enough to be able to tie it in a knot. I used whatever this tan color is in Burnout Baby, I think it is. So I have very little Burnout left. And this is a good way to use them up. And this is the Premier Basics Chenille Bright, I believe is what it's called. It was the only thing that I had in yellow, but they worked just fine together. I wish I would have had an orange, but I had yellow. So we used yellow, and I don't know, they're really cute. Now, I don't think mine turned out as cute as the designer's pictures, but it's still really cute. So I liked making this, other than, like I said, the beak, and then I struggled with the eyes on it. So I wanted to make another one. Well, I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough of that tan color. I could have used white because I have plenty of white. I think I have almost a full skein of white. So I chose, why not a black duck? So I did one in black and with the yellow, and I had it to the point where there were no eyes or headband on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so much like Daffy Duck. But yeah, this one, like I said, I did the eyes 3 times, and with it being black, I didn't plan ahead, and I'm like, well, what color eyes am I going to give it? Obviously, you can't see black eyes on the black. So I tried doing it with a blue. And I don't know. It just didn't look right. It still doesn't look too right to me, but it looks better. So I went with the darkest gray color that I had. And on this one, the headband, I tried using this bamboo yarn that I have instead of cotton. And I'm going to have to remake the headband because it like was a lot thinner than the cotton yarn that I used for this one. So it like really stretched and made these really long. Plus, I think it needs to be a different color. So this one needs another headband. So apologies because my representation of this pattern isn't as cute as the actual designers. Hers are just adorable. It's like, but she used safety eyes, and I don't want to use safety eyes. It's got to be embroidered eyes for these. I think the felt eyes would just peel off, but I'm going to make a different headband. I'm going to look at my cottons and see what colors I have to do a different headband for this one. I think it would look nicer with a different headband. So, but yeah, those were the gray eyes. I don't know, I struggled with eyes on this. But it's going to stay gray. I'm not going to try and do them again. And just a different headband. One that, I don't know, since the yellow is so bright on the black, I think it needs to be another like bright, kind of like the green is nice and bright on this one. Another one is bright. And you can see I got the beaks were totally different on the two. And I thought I was doing it the same way. But like I said, I'm going to make the beaks separate and then sew them on. I feel like I'll have a little bit more control with it. So I did those two Loveys. I just have to figure out how I'm going to display these because these would take up a lot of table space. And I'm thinking if I took like some ribbon and went up underneath their arms and I could hang them from the canopy and then they don't take up any table space. That's kind of the thought process I have going right now. We'll see. I mean, I have a couple of months to figure it out. So then, after I did those, I went back to that anime pattern pack that I bought, and I made another one of those. And this one, I struggled with. There were definite errors in the pattern, and you had to kind of like stop and think about it. Actually, the hardest part was making the little vest because it was just like I had to do it twice. It was just really different. But this is that one. And I don't know. I said I wanted to do like maybe a few more of these out of that pattern pack. But I think I've done the two easiest ones now. And I'm just not sure if I'm going to do another one because, like, this took me a long time because I was struggling with the errors in the pattern. And then this little vest I had to do twice. It just, I don't know, the way it was, you chain 27 and that's row 1. I mean, you usually don't see patterns written like that. And then row 2, and then row 3, and then it's like you only have 26 stitches. But it gets one that says you have 27, but you didn't do any increases. And then the next one, you're doing 2 increases, and you're supposed to have 28. And so there's definite errors in the pattern. Makes you think just maybe the pattern wasn't tested. So there's that. But I mean, they're cute. They just take time, for me anyways. And I don't know. I'm unsure now if I will make any more. But I still like them because they have ears, of all things. Why do you like? Because they have ears. I just think it's cute that they actually have little ears on them. And the hat does come off. The little vest can come off. but that's it. Everything else is like on there. So I made that. And then I was like, okay, I've done these time-consuming things, and like I did the duck loveys, I did one of them on Thursday, started on the 2nd, finished it up on Friday, did this on Friday, and I was like, I need to do smaller stuff, quicker makes. So, plus I had a pattern test that I needed to do. So I was like, I'm going to make some baby squids. I think they're totally cute, and they're pretty quick to make. I mean, the tentacles take the longest time, but the bodies are like really easy. So the first one I made was in this rose color, and I was like, I'm going to try the embroidered eyes on these. And I think I did really good on this one. I liked how the eyes turned out on this. So then I started the second one, and then it got to be late, so I didn't finish. So yesterday, I tried to finish it up before we had to head over to John's sister's house, because my birthday's coming up and everybody's going to be out of town except me for my birthday. So they wanted to do like a little cookout get together. So we went over there and we spent most of the day over there. Well, before I left, I started this blue one and I ran out of yarn. I have this much yarn and 3 tentacles left. And don't you know, I do not have another skein of this yarn. I'm like, guess what? We got to order more yarn. So I'm going to wait until I need a few other things, and then I'll order some more and I'll be able to finish this little squid, but I will keep it safely tucked away in a drawer so that Mr. Toby can't grab a hold of it and run off with it. So I did that. Well, then we left and we went over and we were visiting. One niece was there, his 2 sisters were there, and then us and his brother-in-law. So we had a very nice dinner, and we sat and visited for a little while, and they gave me the gag gifts because, you know, it's a milestone birthday coming up, and I'm like, y'all don't push it. I still have like 12 days or 13 days, something like that. And I'm like, don't rush me. Just don't rush me. So we left there, stopped at the grocery store, came home, and I had that pattern test to do. So I went ahead and started working on that because it was still early. I mean, I was up pretty late the night before. So, and I slept in really late yesterday, like till 10 o'clock in the morning, and I never do that. So I was pretty awake. So we busted out the pattern test, and this is by Stacy Makes here on YouTube, and on Instagram she is Apple Tree Stacy Makes, and on Etsy she is Apple Tree Boutique. But this is a little lamb, and it's part of this whole like shelf sitter type series that she's doing. I used Parfait Chunky, and again, I wanted to do the embroidered eyes. I'm really trying to embrace the embroidered eye thing so that the littles have options too. This one I did with Toffee and the white glitz. You can see the sparkle on there. And it turns out kind of small when you use Parfait. If you use the Sweet Snuggles or Home Slim, these patterns turn out to a nice decent size. But for the color theme that I was kind of looking for, I ended up going with the Parfait Chunky. So it's fairly easy. It is no sew except for sewing the head onto the body. And then, of course, because I chose to do the embroidery, the eyes, and then she shows 2 different ways of doing the nose and the mouth. I chose the more solid nose. But he's cute. I think you could take this little head and this other pattern that I have, the body for it, to where it's on 4 legs, and use this head on that body, and it would look adorable. Even her cow head could be used on that body, and it would look great. If you wanted the 4-legged, you know, like standing on 4 legs kind. But these are cute because they just like sit on the shelf. And I believe she said, don't quote me, but I think she said this pattern was going to be available, that she's hoping to release it on the 1st, or maybe that's when the testers are due to have it in. I don't know. But so now in her series, she has Gordon the gator, Parker the pig, Betty the cow, and this lamb. And I don't know the name. I am terrible with names. So I made this one last night. And then it was still kind of early because these are really quick. These work up very fast. Then I was like, I still want to make another squid. So I started this one. I finished it up this morning. I had the head part done. And so I finished the legs this morning and did the little face on it. And again, I went with the embroidered eyes, which I just think are so cute. Now this one I put white on the outside of the eye, which made them look bigger. This one I did not. And I'm not sure which way I like it better. With the whites or without the whites. They're both cute. I don't know, I kind of like this one. You know, the first time you do something, it's hard to replicate it. So we did those. And today, I probably won't get a whole lot done because I have to work on those button orders. And get those ready to go and be shipped out in tomorrow's mail. Plus, I need to find time to make it to Walmart so that I can get some totes, because my totes are full. And I have a box sitting over here that's full of plushies, and my table's getting full of plushies. I need to get a couple more totes just for storage. Not to take them to market with, but for storage, because my room is getting overcome with plushies. So John sent Jenna to Tractor Supply, and she came home with 4 chicks. And they are like teeny tiny chicks. And we had chickens, but all the chickens are gone now. So she gets these little, I mean, like a couple of day old chicks. And I'm like, who's going to keep them? They have to be inside. They have to be under a heat lamp. You need a special watering dish so that they don't fall in and drown. Who's going to keep them? Because they can't be in this room this time. They create a lot of a dusty mess. I found that out from the last ones that I had hatched on my own. So they can't stay in here. And they are going to drive Toby absolutely insane. Just insane. But they're cute as can be. There's a yellow. There's, I don't know. There's 4 of them. Because the minimum you're allowed to purchase is 4. I don't know why they do that. It's kind of like ordering yarn online, and to get the shipping deal, you have to spend so much money. So, yeah, we got to figure out what to do with these baby chicks. And I asked him, why did you want to get baby chicks again? And he says, well, we're out of eggs. I'm like, do you realize it's going to be a long time before you get any eggs? I'm like, you can't just buy a baby chick and expect an egg tomorrow. They have to grow up. It'll be at least, at the very minimum, 6 months before you get an egg. So, there's that. All right, so out of these that I made today, honestly, I'm going to say the little squids are my favorite, only because I like the little faces. Then I am going to go with the little lammy. And this duck, well, both of them, but I just wish I could get the eyes better. And this would be my least favorite of the batch in this video. Probably because of degree of difficulty. These definitely, I like these. I just love their little faces. And the eyes on this one, I think turned out pretty good. It's very difficult to get them even. Even if you use the safety eyes, it's difficult to get them even because of working in the spiral. So they're close. They're very close. So that is it. It's short this time because just didn't have that much to share. Didn't have that much to say. I'll work on some more and we'll be back again. So we will see you in the next video.